Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this session, I will present the paper entitled Representation of the Communication Strategy for the Dakwah of the Sufi Order inside Nasihat as an effort to strengthen national unity. Introduction. Wujudnya kontroversi occurred in Aceh in the 18th century. So scholars have been very careful in interpreting the poetic expression. And then Sufis often use a dense and symbolic language of poetry. So, Syair Nasihat is a representation, communication strategy, Sufism. Literature review. In 70 era until 90, the structural semiotic and intertextuality. And then in 90 era, the study is focused in hermeneutic and local wisdom. And then now, I will try to communication process and dakwah strategy. The method in the paper, study use a qualitative method and to examine the Syair Nasihat manuscript, the theory of philology and codicology is used. To observe the communication process that occur in Syair Nasihat, the linear communication theory is used as explained by David K. Berlow. Result and discussion. Often the lack and clarity of information occurs because of ambiguity. Ambiguity is caused by the use of word, phrase, sentence, or discourse that are ambigu or ambiguous. That is, they have more than one meaning or polyinterpretable, which can be interpreted in various ways according to the context. The form of ambiguity contained in the Syair Nasihat text are as follows. The unpredictable nature of the sea, because it calls heaven. So that you do not be miserable to drink. On the day of judgment, get Uzra. The proof is stanza that treat the nature of the sea in unpredictable because it caused heaven, namely that the wave that hit the coast encircle the earth. After all, the sea is dangerous not only because of its coral and subrock, therefore to obtain the birth of essence, human must sail, even deep into the ocean, or a very wide ocean with powerful and dangerous waves. As a reward or ujra from the result of his toil, human will recognize the nature of themselves, God, and the purpose of their creation. This is in accordance with the verse, because of that the priest is heaven, so that you don't think is miserable on the day of judgment you will get ujra. Thus the Sharia is like a ship or an ark as an instrument. The tariqat is like the ocean as a vessel, the lead, to its destination, and each action is like a pearl, which is very valuable and has many benefits, which are found at the bottom of the ocean. In the world of Sufism, Sharia is an absolute requirement for the salik or spiritual traveler to reach Allah. Without the existence of the Sharia, everything that is tried to do will invalid. At least there are two meanings related to the Sharia, namely the general meaning commonly used by scholar, namely relating to worship, moral and society, economy and governance. The second meaning, namely everything that Allah has commanded, either directly or revelation or through His apocalypse. With this meaning, the Sharia cover a line of life. Sharia is not only about shahada, prayer, zakah, fasting, and hajj, but more than that, it is the rule of life that lead people to truly reality. Sharia is the starting point of the portal in the spiritual journey of human. Therefore, for people who want to take the Sufi path, like it or not, they must first strengthen the Sharia. There are some people who argue that the Sharia is only a starting point to Ma'rifat, and when it reaches its essence, it is released from the Sharia because according to them, it is only for ordinary people. This view was rejected by Sirhindi because between Sharia and nature are one and cannot be separated. Sharia is the outward form of action, and action is the inner form Sharia. Those who claim that the Sharia apply to ordinary people and not to special people, they have committed hidden heresy and apostasy. In fact, those who are more advanced in Sufism need 10 times more worship than beginner because their development is very dependent of devotion and hospitality in obeying me. Conclusion. The communication process that occurs in China Siatek is conveyed by the source or author is Mursid, is Sufi teacher, regarding the teaching of the tariqat or message through the channel Shair and the receiver, reader or listener. Second, the tragedy of Wujudia result in change in the writing pattern of Sufi doctrine. Mursid felt safer writing in genre of religious book than Shair. Often the lack of clarity of information occur because of ambiguity. This ambiguity is the cause of misunderstanding between the flow crew. This Shair text can be used and as an example of local wisdom by our government in dealing with problem of religious conflict or problem of different interpretation of religious teaching, especially in terms of khilafah and quite various way of practicing religion. Thank you.